back this morning with our legal counsel, Kevin Zolotor. We'll talk to him in a few. 436-1212 is the number to call. If you have a legal question, he can help answer that. So give us a call right now to get on the line. Kevin, thanks for coming in today. Kevin is with O'Hara. We're happy to have him in. Everyone else is on spring break.
Here. Yes.
And, well, Kevin drew the short stick. No, I'm kidding. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Kevin, you were telling me during the commercial break about a new law that would probably be pretty important for our viewers to know. Tell me about that.
Yes. About a year ago, what the legislature decided to do was they were going to criminalize refusing to take the breath test.
Okay, and by breath test you mean?
Breath test that they normally ask people to take during a DUI investigation.
Okay.
And I think most people now are familiar with the breath test process. That somewhere, if the officer thinks you've been drinking, they'll ask you to take, the breath test to get your blood alcohol content. Well, before this law, it used to be if you didn't take the test, they would just suspend your license or take civil penalties against you.
Okay, you couldn't be arrested.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, you could still for the DUI, but not for just simply refusing to take the test. Now they have made it against the law to just say no and refuse that test altogether. Now, that doesn't apply to everybody. You want to talk to a criminal defense lawyer to find out if it would apply to you. If you've had a DUI before, if you've refused the test before, then now, under the new law, you can't refuse the next time.
And when did this law go into effect?
August of 2012.
Okay, but it's really probably not widely known at this point.
Correct.
Especially if you haven't been pulled over for something like that before.
And if you don't have a lot of interaction with the law, if you've never been pulled over for a DUI before, then most likely this law wouldn't apply to you.
Okay.
But, without knowing your specific situation or specific circumstances, you just can't have a blanket answer of whether or not it applies to you. So you'd want to talk to a lawyer before making that decision.
So can they arrest you then? Can officers arrest you if you refuse the test, and then later those charges could, whether they are dropped or stick, depending on your situation, but could you be arrested for that?
Yes, under most circumstances they could. Well, probably what they'd do is they would just note that you refused, then later down the line there'd be some investigation done into your background. If they find out that you are one of those persons that could not legally refuse, then you would be cited. And the significance of this is the penalties for refusing to take a breath test. What they try to do are mirror them or make them so identical to actual DUI penalties.
Wow. So they're pretty strong then. I mean, they're pretty.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So what they're trying to do is they want people to take the breath test, and they're saying if you don't take the breath test, then you might be suffering consequences the same as a DUI, so you might as well take the test.
Okay, clearly trying to deter people from drinking and driving.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that information. We do have a caller on the line we're going to go ahead and get to quickly. Good morning. What's your question for Kevin?
My question is, what does it take to get a restraining order?
Okay, good question.
That is a good question. It's probably a question that a lot of people ask, and I know that we've taken a lot of questions like that. For a civil restraining order, there are protection from abuse actions and protection from stalking actions that most people can go down to their local courthouse. They have applications and packets that you can fill out. You have to be able to state, and specify what this person has done in order to justify a restraining order. In some instances, the judge or someone there at the courthouse would sign that order right then. They would serve the other person, letting them know that they couldn't have contact with you for a certain period of time until there was a hearing.
Okay.
In other circumstances, the court may say, well, we're not going to issue an order right now saying they can't have contact. We'll set it for hearing, and then after that, they would make a determination as to whether or not that
permanent solution then.
Sure.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it, is go down to the local courthouse. Another way, that would be something you would be able to probably do on your own. Another way is obviously call a lawyer, ask them, tell them your situation, and see if they can advise you on how to get a no contact order.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin Zolotor joining us today from O'Hara & O'Hara. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more Eyewitness News this morning.
Expect more from KSCW. This is Eyewitness News this morning in high definition, online at kwch.com.